Hello, hello, hello. My mic was not set up properly. That's amazing. Um, I'm doing some freaking management of the sounds. He's fine. All right, we are playing Road Warden. I found this game fairly recently on this Steam and shit, and I figured I'd want to play it because it seems interesting. We're just a little guy fucking wandering around and shit in the wilderness, or going to be. It's text-based RPG, which I haven't played a text-based RPG in like a long ass time. So I'm excited to see what this brings, but everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Road wardens only accept the struggle. Not only accept the struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and, if possible, get rid of the beasts and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectable one, and it pays well. I wonder what happens if I press this, because it's like I have to choose this to go on. I'm pretty sure. No, it's just okay. That's just like 40-day time limit. Your choice can't be altered. This choice can't be altered later on. So I would have to start an entirely new game if I wanted to change that. Let's go with standard. I'm not expecting to be great at this game or anything. I forgot to tweet out that I'm starting the stream. Whoopsie daisy me. Anyways. The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place you're looking for. You're supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices. No sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away goblins and pebblers, but not beast folk, nor trolls. And the night is near. Your palfrey breathes heavily. It's had a long day. Yeah, cautiously look around. Concerning the noise, you doubt that anyone knows the clatter of hooves. The short, dry grasses barely cover the arid soil of this valley, but maybe you're a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods, which get denser as they climb up the hills. At best, this trail has a few more years before getting overgrown for good. Hard to believe it's the only route north. Let's take a peek. Your heavy boots hit the ground and the pain of the long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out, bringing your back and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. If ain't like your action will be needed here. Take care of yourself if you're hurt or exhausted. Some actions won't be available to you. You're the higher chance you'll die in combat. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space. The fire pit is cold. Two people are sitting at a table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice a quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbor. This is a sad camp, is what this is. It takes him a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes, his beard messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs to its side, but he doesn't reach for it. What's the second guy looking like? Just like you, she's wearing a Gabeson, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven, as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are weary, yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was in here half a year ago, these two surely looked apart, though there should be more of them. 8, you believe. I'll let them speak first. It's nice to see you unharmed, traveler in this godforsaken shithole. Makes me just a tiny bit hopeful. The bearded man's voice is strong, yet timid. He was staying the night with us, I guess. We're soldiers, he and I, as the armed woman. Her moment switches from half-sleep to relax. We'll do our best to keep the camp safe, but if you were to take the first watch, it would be a huge help. Travelers ought to help each other, wouldn't you say? You think for a moment. To fully rest, you need a good sleep. I'm only down a quarter heart, but that quarter heart could be like life or death situation kind of thing. But then again, most things in this game probably are. Very much for dusk. Vitality is straight off 4. Yeah, sure. Fantastic. She rubs her hands together. I don't remember the last time I had more than half a night's sleep. The hours before midnight should be the calmest. Just wake us up if anything happens. The man flashes you a wide smile. It's it's easy to wake us up. Just yell. He drinks from his mug. Yeah, that's another lieutenant. I wonder how you phrase your question whenever you that's how they perceive your second attitudes. That's too friendly. As I'm moving through the lieutenant, could we talk for a bit? Twin lets out a loud sigh and sets off, dusts off her gamson and steps towards you. She pays little attention to the sword at her side. We most definitely can, you and I, though holding this rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? She regards you with curiosity, or are you looking for help? I'm your new road warden. My horse is waiting outside. Really? The soldier in his shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece over yourself. Better bring your beast here, as lieutenant. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. A long pause. I'm Tulia, by the way. Reaches out her hand. I shake her hand. Why would that be a trap? Ooh. Ooh. Leto is the default name, so I'm assuming that's the canon name for this person. Actually, you know what? I'll stick with the canon name. Her grasp is confident, the shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tents. She steps away. We don't need to smell its dung. There's this one issue. The soldier in his shirt also rises to his feet. We no tent to spare. You'll have to use a blanket or something. Yeah. You walk through the gate, your mount looks around and starts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You get it in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From your side, it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragonwoods from the conquest in the south. They could trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the old local monsters. Your palfrey needs you to survive, but without it, you too will be lost. Don't be rude to the horse. This is gonna be our fucking companion. God damn. Tony takes a few steps towards you, scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of his neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes. Humans see useful animals, even pets, as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know, horses need companionship. Let's be nice to the baby. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back, just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish you'd had something better to eat than this shabby grass. You should look for an inn. Well, you hadn't brought many things. You lost one of those sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Worst of all, you have no rope left, but maybe the soldiers could share one. Shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions, essential for your trade. Ooh. Ooh. The scholar seems to be a healer of the sort. I definitely want to go mage. I don't really going for a magic build. I'm thinking between spider or scholar right now. Because the benefits of the fighter is I have a ranged weapon at the start, but and like better equipment in general. But the scholar has a healing potion, and I like the vibes of a scholar. I think, but I also really like ranged weapons in most games. But I think I'm gonna go with scholar. Actually, I want to learn more about 3 classes. As a fighter, you have easier time in physical challenges thanks to your superior equipment and hidden bonuses during dice rolls. You'll be physically more capable than the other classes. That opens unique opportunities during some social interactions. It's the best class for RPG beginners. Fighters we consider reliance on physical strength. Your ability stats won't be available to you if your vitality drops to 0. The Rage uses Pneuma, a versatile but limited pool of energy points that can be spent to cast a few humble spells. Magic won't protect you better than a sharp axe, but as a mage you'll be able to heal faster while resting, detect magic in a mysterious area, distract a beast with a simple trick, and find common tongue with other magic users. Using a mage's powers to freely result in having no Pneuma left when you need it most. Scholar will know more about the world's mysteries than you, helping you take advantage of unusual situations. Your character will impress the locals with knowledge, and you'll be able to read sparse written clues without anyone's assistance. Scholars struggle with combat more than the other classes, but without carefulness and exploration, you'll gain access to uncommon missions that help you escape from any dangerous situations. Oh, these all sound pretty nice, but Scholar means I'm gonna probably have a harder time in this game. But you know what? I ain't no fucking coward. You unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water cans and pierced. The spare clothes are still there, just in case you take a look at your wooden bowl mug, your cape. Nice. Tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife, nothing special, too cumbersome. Time to time your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. They're at the table again, observing your beasts and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at a previously unused dinner table. You can sit down on a tree log. Ooh, so I definitely want a meal. But the question is if I want to sit down and join the 2 soldiers, or if I want to join the lieutenant and ask them for questions. Because knowing about the area would be very useful, right? But I want to be friends with these people. I might learn about the area from these people, though. You know what? Fuck it. I want to be... It's cooled gruel. The meal eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hog, millet, some strange looking cereals, and blueberries. While you welcome you with a meal, even a humble one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions, constantly on the move from one part of the realm to another, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardship, and camaraderie. Road warriors, on the other hand, learn how to work by themselves. They still engage in open combat, patrolling the same roads for years. They help settlement stay in touch, but also maintain commerce, settle down, forge friendships. When there are no laws to follow, they use their own judgment. Different responsibilities, different lifestyles. Okay, I guess it's back to Tulia either way. She's focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can't tell you less than I would like to, and I can tell you less than I would like to and less than I should. She nods towards the other soldiers. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead. One has run away in tears. We're also strangers to this land, at your companion. In piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward, his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick. However it takes to escape from boredom, his untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What do the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands. You know what? I'll share, because... Yeah, because knowing information is important to survive in the wilds. You tell the soldiers how little guidance you've received, since this area is too far away from, Hovlaven. Yes. To keep it under control, you were warned that it's untamed unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, people come to here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. Do you turn into walking corpses, or find what they're looking for? No soul could tell me, so I was looking for your guidance. Lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Sitting in her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? I need to ask him Peninsula, Roadborne, and... I'm gonna ask him all the questions. What should I know about the peninsula? If I tell you what I know, you'll be the judge. And I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be a judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent palfrey, I guess it'd be 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues. From here, you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea routes allowed Hovlavan officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools. But maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore, and boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living on this shore, and they don't care to stay in touch with the city folk. I should pause as her companion carries on. No soul from the north ever came from the camp, but when we traveled to the roadside inn, paddled north, they're happy to trade and to play dice. Why not just stay in one of the settlements? The man clears his throat. I mean, you know, we're guarding this road, this camp is our post, and well... He turns to Tulia. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, Leto, but... Are you a devout soul? I like most safe, I believe people should not use strength or come nature, so dark magic, everyone will be judged for good and deed, blah blah. Okay. For many years I've reported a monastery that does best to advance mankind spiritual goals. I was some magic research, found teach order of truth, and I found a small village. Freedom of show, pneuma and soul are the main virtues of life. My community is unique and independent. As artist members, I have a place in my fellowship. I have shown community connection with nature and spirits, follow the path of ancestors. Some of the beliefs may be considered sinister and treacherous, but I say feel like you're probably becoming a pagan. There's no evidence of right's existence, and all the mystical tales are explained by magic. I probably get some kind of bonus for choosing as faith. Okay, so I am a scholar right now. What's my inventory? I have some food rations, healing potions, pouch of coins, some gams and patience, travel set, writing parchment, simple axe. I think I'm between the last three right now. As a scholar, I mean, I guess as a scholar it would make sense for me to be like this, but I kind of, what do I want my character to be from is the question. But as someone who's like, you know, going around exploring shit. I want to kind of make friends with the local monsters and stuff. That'd be fun. I feel like this one is more geared towards maybe like magic and stuff. So maybe between these two right now, being a pagan or just being an atheist. You know what? Let's cause a little ruckus. Let's be a pagan. And pagan road warden and manuscript just have with a slight subtlety. Now, I'm not sure we can have a conversation where civilized people, Lieutenant Clearstone. I'm from the United Church, but I'm not a priest or anything, and definitely not a zealot. An awkward pause. The United Church has spilled the blood of countless pagan tribes, making it clear that who's not with them is against them. Your family shared gruesome stories about the atrocities committed by the priests against your ancestors. I'm not looking for squabbles. The people here are disquieting. Every few words, she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials here. She starts to draw lines with her index finger as if she's pointing to an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads, like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village about at a bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think. It even has a priest who claims to be an eremite. You nod. She means a fellowship. They do crazy shit, her companion chimes in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there. I see. You've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement survives without city's influence, customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and rustic pagan traditions muddy their river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages. The bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. Ooh. Just reading this one. Actually, I might be able to ask all of them. We're able to speak to necromancers. You can see why we're not eager to go there if we could avoid it. Through the tiny chuckles, maybe they'll be more welcoming to a road-borne. Roads are dangerous with little to no shelters. People need your help. The man in the shirt turns a bit and points a finger to the northwest. If you're heading to the undead village, you need to get to an inn first, and soon. Tula nods. Tell to the north is a safe place. You can talk with it and keep with the guards asking about the road. And about the east? She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell. We went there only once. There are hills, forests, rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. And monsters. We saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts to count on his fingers. Goblins, tree ants, cats large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked bears, mouflon eaters, griffins, but we managed to stay away. Some catch up with most mounts. Tulia glances at her companion. Though a palfrey should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coasts and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting amongst themselves. They fight more for food than territory. And the soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast, just count on luck. He nods. I'm afraid I can't do more for you. Let's keep going on the paths. Any idea what happened to the previous roadborne? Tulia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. The soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirm that he stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The beard starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Oh, he's busy, drowning in things. Take care of it. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on the wax table of his. Yep, and leave a dawn. On Augusta, Asterion never gets bored. Tulia lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone's keeping him in the basement. The man carves with passion. We haven't seen him or Astorian. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richard Roborn's often used four-legged meeting saurians at the mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but unlike horses, they can easily defend themselves from many monsters. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent passerby. Do you know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message? Neither of us had any insight into his dealings, said Tulia. My predecessor left me no clues. We also took a look at Asterian's stuff. Wait! She raises her open palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Havlavin. I was putting in to take all his things there. A pouch, second spear, a decent bow, some potions. Quite a treasure. She glances at you. But I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. We've hired a messenger to ask commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned, you know nothing about her. She either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We were meant to stay here until fall. You think? Come see us, tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Havlovin together. You think about your real mission. You're planning to return to Havlovin in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy with me taking away all his possessions. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'd he'd begrudge you anything, and who knows, you may just find a shell laying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear mostly, maybe 5 feet tall, but stout. Long red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. She glances at her companion after he adds nothing. Oh, that's a good guy. She sits down and stretches out her legs. So, find out what happened to him. Dead, alive, left, just let me know. I lost my rope. Could you spare one? You're in luck. She heads towards one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing a rope. She brings it back nonchalantly, sits down in her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. Take a closer look. Fine rope. Regular rope made of hemp fibers. I don't have the food for that. What happened to your squad? The man shrugs. Bandits happened, and monsters. A strong band, though, his companion chimes in. When we got to the peninsula in spring, we saw some people living in the camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and look for the inn. We had to travel through the night for a bit. The Veer sort of scoffs and crosses his arms, but she carries on. If we had decided otherwise, we would have all died that day. The innkeeper explains that the camp is a trap, that the armed ones pretend to be soldiers. Stay there at night, lose everything you have. Sounds like slave hunters. Thea sighs. Very much so. They killed someone, took others away, who knows where. They were letting the northerners go, hoping to avoid their wrath. It kinda worked, had soldiers. We asked them to help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp from our own, and that's why 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate. It's not like they didn't make a mistake. He wanted to get rid of them, Who the fuck's the lieutenant? How many people are here? God, this is why I hate goddamn, like, text-based adventures. I never know who's talking. Don't exaggerate. It's not like the lieutenant didn't make a mistake. We wanted to get rid of them, take over the camp, but we didn't know our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage among them. She looks at you. At least we cleared the road, saved lives. You mentioned monsters as well. Nothing that would surprise you. Those of us who survived the skirmish were young. Too inexperienced to spend a summer in this place without a good leader, and they didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a treant, another one ignored my orders to perform some sort of ritual hunt. So a werebear tore her to pieces. The last one tried to act tough, didn't tell us that he had cut his hand while cleaning his gamson. So a ghastly chuckle. We had to cut it off, and he was still ashamed that he decided to walk north, find new life, disappear. Yet, what a careful journey. The man tries to drink from his mug, but it's empty. He made this place safer. Barely. Julia seems tired. Who knows if it was worth life's effort. So how did you become lieutenant? That's not much of a story, honestly. She looks at her hand, which was currently rolling a mug over the table. In the city, there's a strict order of, what should I call it? She just looks for a companion, but he can't help her. Well, leadership succession, I guess. Havlavan's chief selects commanders, those select lieutenants, and those put their soldiers in order of priority. If the lieutenant dies, they get replaced by the next soldier in line. So, you were his successor. Nah, not exactly. When we fought the bandits, the lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend? Nice! His boyfriend jumped in to help him, but failed to protect either of them from a spell. It was like a ball of ice that hung above them and exploded, piercing their heads, with the avoiding their shield. Really unpleasant. She pauses. Jumping like that to save a man in the middle of attack, then it's like, oh, so you were thrown in the line, is that right? Basically, yeah. She says with enthusiasm. I didn't plan to become a leader, though. I'll get demoted once we return to the city. I prefer to follow, anyway. So, what was your mission? The lieutenant looks into your eyes. You know, the usual. Making the road safe, keeping people alive. I explained that it may be important for me to know what they have tried to accomplish. I can't really tell you. Let's just say it would be nice to have a reliable outpost somewhere nearby. A place where we can always find a good group of fighters waiting to protect you in the name of the law. She took right back. Now, if you have any other questions... It sounds like they're militarizing this area, or trying to anyways. Anything I should know about the camp? The story is brief. Some merchants built the camp to have an extra shop for mules and donkeys, just between the inn and the southern villages. There's plenty of grass here and a pond nearby. When the peninsula grew more dangerous, the camp stood abandoned, but from time to time, Sylvia sheltered from travelers. The bandits came here in spring, further paralyzing the exchange of information between the northern and southern settlements. Since she's time when I know more, the situation may reverse, and will tell. You can sleep here whenever you want, the man concludes their tale, though don't expect to wake up without pain in your back. Where would I go next, if you were me? The soldier answers quickly. To the inn, of course. He grabs his empty mug. The one northwest from here. If you can't afford the room, the main hall is free of charge. The locals rarely gather there. The northern road is much more traveled, mentioned Julia, but the hunters will tell you about this and that, and you'll have a chance to introduce yourself. The innkeeper can listen and knows many souls. Any tips on how to make a good first impression? Sure. Avoid cheap jokes, stick to trade, don't waste time. Generally, you can be relied on. It's getting late. We should prepare for the night. I agree. Julia sighs with relief. And you may do better than Asterion did. Stay vigilant. She makes you use shattering the mask of a soldier. Thank you for your help. You go to the barrier, splash water in your face, which makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath. After the night, you will only get worse. You're sorry napping, still too anxious to lay down. And for my watch. Soldier is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around, though they won't try to jump over the palisade. Probably. Better watch out for the apes. They come and carry any food they can find, and there's this one really loud were-elk that keeps smelling the wall, though whales never try to get in. He points to the gate. The lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes here looking for shelter, better call us to help you out. And if someone is being chased by wolves or anything, better throw them the rope instead. He scratches his head. If it gets cold, feel free to make a fire, but best place is on the watchtower. You may need to put a blanket there or something. The watchtower? There's no tower here. He gives you a long puzzled look. Oh, here. He points up how great. Oh no, that's so sad. Just climb up on the tallest one. You have a great view of the northern side, the more dangerous side, and also I know you're tired after all that riding. He points to the tent on the other side of the camp. I can handle a couple hours sleep on the ground if you wish. Go there after me. Just rest this once. At least I have a pallet inside. Thanks a lot. You put your blanket in the tallest crate and sit down. The night is warm, but the sporadic summer breeze brings you refreshment. From time to time, your back aches, and you have to force yourself to keep your eyes open. The light of the moon helps you focus on tall grasses. For most of the time, you spot smaller critters and birds, but there are exceptions. At one point, you see 3 horned deer trying to challenge one another before they clash their antlers. A 2-legged dragling appears, leading its much smaller offspring. The furry beast tried to intimidate predators with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides walk away slowly, not willing to risk a fight nor to admit their defeat. Don't let it distract me, I keep looking around. You hear the death screams of distant prey and mating calls of monkeys. Runners are chasing a gray hare. A group of musk oxen lazily chew the grass, preparing themselves to sleep. A dusk fox is running together with the lynx, making playful screeches. Thankfully, you never have to intervene. You just sit there, watching a not-so-distant forest, trying to outlast your sleepiness. You can only guess how much time has passed. Once you feel you've had enough, you climb down and go to a tent, waking up the bearded man with just a couple of words. You affirm nothing important has happened. I gather my things and squeeze into the tent. I use my bag as a pillow, put my blanket in a pallet, and cover myself with a cloak. Sleeping in a tent is not the stuff of dreams, but it's much welcome rest. The pallet keeps the cold soil away. The moonlight saves the outside world from eerie gloom. Listen to your own breath and find a comfortable position. Your job starts tomorrow. Focus on the real goals of my journey. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of this realm. Your warden duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula, learn about territory, resources, and threats. Get to know locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with Havlavian officials and traders. Could try to resist the soldiers or be a threat to the priests of the United Church. Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? At least I have time, 40 days to be exact. I need to be as thorough as I can. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak with Julia and return to Havlovin. There you report back to your employers to get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own gold to parse. My goal. I want to help people. I just want to help people. I don't really care about being a hero. Your half-sleep senses are catching the sound of the wild forest. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious, though the pleasant human late. Summer air evens it out slowly. You can't travel during the night, press sleep and rest. You're thinking about your goal, but you need to gather your strength. He's wearing in a borrowed tent, something special, but you protect you from the wind and rain and from the cold ground. You won't be painfully hard or cold. Up. You're woken up by sunlight, well rested and ready. Without haste, you gather your things. After a couple of breaths, you notice a weird smell like a roast. No burning meat. Burning, rotten meat. Disgust causing your consciousness, you exit tense. Your horse is looking around nervously. Your bags are where you had let them. You see an open gate. Oh, jeez. What happened? Both soldiers are standing near him, humble pyre. The man in the shirt looks at it contemplatively. Tulia's first one to address you. Leto. She greets you with a nod. We used the horse's manure for the flames, so don't worry about cleaning it up. You see a corpse among the flames. It's possible to tell if it belongs to male or female, but it was an adult. The burning process won't be over for a couple more hours. Traveler or undead? Latter, a young one. She lacked the pneuma to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. She shifts her weight. One more fog, and she'd be a real threat. Even now, it took a couple hits to knock her down. Sooner or later, every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength with each soul devours and each moment it spends in the fogs. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice, it's a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, and even road wardens, making a large pyre takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Tulia calls the she. Most unites hesitate to do so. Time for me to leave. Warning from Enrique, huh? I don't blame you. She walks with you for a few steps. Find us here if you need us, or if you learn what happened to Asterion. There's enough ground here for you to rest. Safe travels. Those words make you stop. An old farewell, mocked in a number of songs and tales, but yet you hear no scorn in Tulia's voice. You learn how many acts of kindness like this you're going to experience in the days to follow. She returns to Pyre. Time for the journey. The map moves in the area. You somehow missed the fact that your mount is already saddled and warmed up. You double-check the equipment, but you don't need to fix anything. The soldiers were diligent. Normally, preparing any palfrey for a long journey takes a lot of time. You put on your gablesson and make sure that your axe is tightly attached to your belt, then get in the saddle. The palfrey knickers, ready to leave. It's time for you to get to the crossroads, north from here. Travel forward to continue your journey. Even at a later hour, you won't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward, but the serene chirping of birds quickly replaced by distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down a path. You found the pack of four-legged griffins. They're larger than foxes and merged the feathers. Features of birds and furred beasts. Each one is a different size, coat, and colors, and their temperaments are just as varied. The fronts are covered with vivid feathers, while their rears are darker fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they're too heavy to fly. About 24 beasts are yelling, brawling, and chasing each other around, blocking your path. Consider my options. Oh god, you can't enter the forest blindly. If these creatures were to chase after you, they could be disastrous for your horse. There are reasons why travelers stay close to the main roads as possible, and why adventurers move in groups. Usually, the safest approach would be to stay where you are and just wait for a pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up to a couple hours. Think about conversation with Tulia. You've got a lot to do, and time may be of essence. Directions. My education could be of use here. Blackpyre and Galleon grows nearby in the dredge. Once I ignite until the griffins still scatter. Yeah, sure. Well, safe. You can learn more about the abilities in the character sheet. Ooh. Knowledge, you're literate. Your education helps you solve many mysteries. Alchemy, with access to alchemy table and proper ingredients, you can brew useful balms and potions. Nice. Most city folk feel aversion towards black powder, and you touch it with great care. The older the plants make you feel dizzy, but what's more important is that the griffins have wolf-like sensitivity to smell and noises. A few of the beasts turn their head towards you to approach the pack with the bag in your hand. You ignite your missile and throw it forward. At first, the creatures surround the source of smoke with a growl in disgust, even pointing their beaks to the ground. They flee, allowing you to continue your journey. Climb on the horse and cover my nose, certainly to find a proper alchemy set. The road splits. According to what the soldiers have told you, you may find it safe in turning left, forced to rise lush and a trail overgrown. Kids use a song. How did it go? The harshest path leads to the dragon's lair. To those who search for treasure, do you truly dare? The signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. It was put here by someone who can't write, for folks who can't read. Cover an old red paint points east, blood there. As people say, danger to peace found. There's not a soul to ask guidance. Sure, that's my horse's name, Sodal. Sodal? Sodal. That fucking doesn't matter. Sodal is peaceful as you stroke its mane. Maybe it can help you go choose its path, but you spent many years together, happy to go on it. If it takes a couple of steps forward, you spot a few berries, shrubs, about cabbages, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. Point to connection. Point connecting a deep forest to the east, western wetlands, and the road to Roadhaven. What the fuck? I already forgotten what the hell, like. Okay. Safe in, but turning left. So the it's probably to the west. Sodal trots with ease and by the few branches covering the beaten road. The bird songs and distant howls draw your attention to the forest, which gets sparser and brighter. You spot boars, roe deer, and saurians. The sight of a nearby wolf pack worries you, but once you push your hooves forwards and your palfrey enters a canter, should beasts don't even begin to pursuit. The speed alone protect you from many dangers. You notice a stone tower taller than the trees. It must be the inn I've heard about. Inns like this one fit regions traveled by merchants, but you wouldn't expect a place of this size in a forsaken peninsula. The stone animal must have transported from far away, and the workers, guarded by expensive mercenaries, surely lived for many seasons in a primitive hamlet, subsisting on salted supplies. There are seemingly no cracks in the wall, and the building was whitewashed only a few years back. The road is wide and beaten. Dozens of souls could hide, if not in the buildings, then at least in the yard. The expenses and labor put into the forts were worth many trading ships. 3 armed people are on the ramparts, though you can only see what's above their waistline. They're leaning on the parapet right next to the gate, and you think you notice a glimpse of a smile. They were Gabesons, each one of them died differently, yellow, green, and then gray. Approach the gate. A woman in yellow armor leans forward. She has long, curly, disorderly red hair, pointing in every possible direction. Combination of colors doesn't work well. Wow. Okay. No need to be judgy. In the woods, one would have to draw much attention. There's still a fair distance between the two of you, but she speaks loudly. I ain't seen a horse for years now. I just said that it's weird to see such a large jackass, huh? Her voice is young and strong, with an accent that reminds me of the villages spread around Hoblavan. But no jackass would wear a saddle, I'd say. She exchanges a few words with a male guard wearing a green. She gives you time to move closer. Well, this one says that's really our donkey saddles. Say, traveler, how hard is it to ride a horse? How about you give it a try? Seriously? Just a moment. She disappeared behind a wall and after that gate is open. While you dismount next to the wood-splitting spot, a couple of people surround you, pointing your mount and commenting on its appearance, so they step away whenever Sodal makes a rapid movement. With the guards in the yellow armor is one who steps forward. She raises her hands to pet your palfrey, but doesn't touch it. It looks smaller from above, she whispers loudly. How do I even get up there? It's not easy when you lack confidence. Better use a stool, or I can help you. Touches the animal, pays no attention to her presence. And now I'm really scared. She contradicts her words with a gentle smile and shining eyes. Maybe I should wear something lighter? You nod and engage in a bit of chit-chat with the entire group, discussing what needs takes care of your horse. Finally, the red-haired woman leads you under the roof, where your palfrey can rest, tethered with a cord to a wooden post near some old hay. And once you're ready, go inside, speak for our boss, maybe you're hungry. The other guards turn to various chores, peek at your mount every now and then, as if they're spitting firewood, cleaning the chores, clothes, weeding the garden patches, and moving chairs. 2 of them making a rope towards the end, hearing the piercing scream of a boar on the other side of the yard. The locked windows make the air stuffy, and the weak fire in the stove hardly lightens up the wall. The muscular man is sweeping the floor near the stairs, and after he glances at you, he leans the broom against the wall and heads behind the counter. Here in the morning, you can spend the entire day resting. You're lucky you showed up. Show up. His voice is deep and soft, with a city-like accent. He visits you with a keen attention, yet avoids your eyes. I have a keg of decent ale, wormwood, bog myrtle, juniper berries, cat's foot. He fills a mug carefully, and puts it on the countertop. It's gonna spoil soon, today maybe, and we don't drink here before the even. I hate to see the good stuff going to waste. His skin is dark, almost purple, rare among the southern tribes, and his hair is naturally bluish. His clothes are quite fancy for manual labor, and his elegant tunic wouldn't stand out in the city's square. The planks let out a creak, and after each step he makes, they slow down a bit. You swear the anchor made little to no noise. Ooh, I've heard about this. There are, it was very popular, I think, in specifically Japanese, architecture, that, and probably some other parts of the world as well, but I only know, like, notably in Japanese, that, like, apparently, they have, oh god, I forget what the exact term was, but they basically specifically, like, when they're building the, floors and stuff for, like, a building, if it's, like, wooden floors, they'll put, specifically, like, planks and stuff that will creak, on purpose. And the reason for it was that, like, at least historically, I think it would have been to like let people know if they're about to be like attacked or something, because people who lived there long enough would know where these creaking boards were and they can avoid them. But if like you're new to the area, you wouldn't know about these creaking boards, and you would, or where they were, so you would step on them and then it would alert whoever was in the building that, like, you know, there's someone new here, type of thing. And usually it was to deter, I believe it was supposed to be samurai or something along that line. Basically, just like as a extra layer of security. Very neat. Here you go. He pushes the mug forward. But just so you know, the Pelt of the North doesn't belong to Havloven. You can sleep on the floor if you wish so, but if you want a better meal, you have to pay. We may have some leftovers from dinner, and but I need to check. This is not to be friendly. Well, this is not be playful, rather. I think I'd be friendly or distanced. I would be friendly. Thanks for the drink. You make sure it's a puzzle looking at my cloth and starts wiping out cells. From time to time, your conversation after such just dirty water and a wooden bucket. Well, nothing is truly free. I have to work a soul for the role, but I don't need a new mouth to babble. Speak slowly, yet audibly. I value my time. You should value yours. Gonna spoil soon. The ale is gonna spoil soon, either today or some other. So I don't know if I should drink this. I probably shouldn't. I have a couple of questions. Sure, go ahead. Do you have any leftovers? You guys feed them to the boar, but I won't give them away for nothing. He tells you to wait and leave boiling for a few minutes. Turns to one bucket and stick. God. Go through the gate and turn left. You'll see a bunch of bushes. You need some berries. Bring me a bucket full. You'll be done in half an hour or so. Yours could use a nap anyway, and I'll prepare something for you. The hook is not made of metal. Wood's long, curved claw, almost black. Or the tools are cold but not heavy. You notice a pair of thick gloves at the bottom of the bucket. The berries are not a problem. Then curious marks sound like snakes. Better scare them away with a stick and remove them with a hook and protect your hands. Little ones won't eat you, but don't get bitten. I'm sure you know how to be patient. Other questions? Okay, Asterion. How are you now? He goes to the table and invites you to sit down with him. I don't think I'm going to be of much help. He rests his elbow on the table and grunts quietly at Kira's throat. But I do want to find him, so... When I asked about his intentions, he measures his words. Siri and I made a risky deal. Well, a very promising one. Last time I was here, he took 50 coins, my half the investment. He knocks on the table with a fist, anxiously. If you get my coin, or at least find out what happened to the guy, I'll make sure you won't be disappointed after bringing me the news. Could be staring at the poison right away. He looks at the window and starts to play with a shutter. I just think Sterling ain't that kind of soul that would do such a thing. Rem wasn't much of a fortune, and I risk saying he had earned my trust. Not only mine, you know, it's easy for reward to make connections. He always had places to go, things to take care of. He rubs his table with a thumb as if trying to clean an invisible stain. I've asked travelers. I've spent a couple of my pals to find him. No real news. I know he stayed in White Marshes for a day and was meant to do something for the people there. It's a village in the northwest. Just stay on the main road until you reach bogs, then enter them. You may get there before dusk. So let me know once you find anything. We may yet return to this whole investment thing. Think about it. You tell me about the peninsula. I couldn't even say. This place doesn't even have a name unless there's an old book in the archive that no soul knows about. You know what I'd call everything from here to the coast? The hunting ground. He lifts his eyes. But it's not us who hunt. Keep that in heart. But the beasts in all shapes and forms. His words gain confidence slowly, which is strengthened by his deep voice. I've lived in this inn for 10 years now, and I've only seen a couple of roads, a couple of places. It's just, once you get here and you see how harsh it is to hit the road, you have only more reasons to stay in the warm stove and a wall, even if it's suffocating. He looks towards the windows. I'm sure you've heard a lot already, that people don't build hamlets anymore. There are no more, Ibexus, from the south. And the traders are only a few days home. Our iron is used for cauldrons, not swords or tools. I guess I can ask them about all the directions. Well, I find traveling west. Well, there are here's nearby, and then you'll find a village, maybe an hour away from here. It was destroyed by beasts once a decade ago, nothing to see there. Goblins live here now, so most people just travel around it, and they say it's haunted, but who knows, who cares. He crosses his arm and starts to sway back and forth, gathering thoughts. You'll get to a large tree on the edge of the swamp. For the locals, it's sacred. You're not used to hearing someone mention pagans as if there's something unusual about them. There's a small path south, which leads to an old mine in the mountains. Nothing to find there, but keep riding north and you'll find Howler's Dell. And a set of clean brook. Farmers live there, and mooflins and druids. They'll let you stay for the night, but they're not cheap. If anyone thinks my prices are bad, it means they ain't been to the Ape Alien Inn yet. He'll tell a gentle smile. I nod. I know only a bit about the next settlement. Pagos. The soil there ain't too fertile, so they work on the quarry and help other settlements build things in exchange for crops. Forests and hills aren't too harsh, but the Seekers have a small monastery nearby in the wood mountains. I don't care very much about them. They keep to themselves and they don't pay well. The third village is unknown to me. White Marsh is set in the bogs. Where it smells like a griffin's lair. For a lot of nasty rumors about the place, but I won't share them. I don't want to be a lie spreader. So, three villages really. Howlers, the one in the monastery, whatever it's called, and marshes. Don't let the beds and palisades fool you, though. Freak people live there. Don't let them, don't tell them more than you need to. I wonder if it's something he would tell the other travelers as well. Decent roads as rough as I heard. Pretty much. Don't leave the main road, I'd say. Not so far from here, you'll find an old dolmen. A few of my people had to spend the night there, and monkeys stole food and gods from their bags. It was their fault. One of them had fallen asleep in the middle of his watch, but, you know, the eastern forests are wild and roads are rough. Almost no soul lives there. One day, all these roads will be swallowed by the trees again. The furthest team has ever gone was home of the Enchantress. Just stay on track until you reach the crossroads. Right near an abandoned watchtower. From there, turn east. You recognize this place. It's a nice home in a lonely meadow, surrounded by a wall. He looks towards the closed window, then at you again. Kind of like our walls, but simpler, without coating. This is a hermit. Eudokia? I don't even know how she survives there, but if you don't have decent coin, you won't find much there. So, back to the crossroads. If you turn left instead, you'll see a road. People stay away from it. It connects to the tower and the monastery. A short caught between two of the peninsula. I was warned by the locals not to use it. It only belongs to the beasts. And what about the north? Oh, I know about another inn. It's far from here, maybe a day on foot, a bit less from the eastern side. His eyes once again focus on the floor. I've never been there, but I've heard it's a safe place, close to villages of fishers and hunters, though I don't know much about them. The next must find an inn of the size in a place such as this. Ah, so you know a thing or two after all. His mocking tone is soon replaced by a smile. It was built long before we arrived and didn't work out well for the previous owners. Once the war ended, they left. Not enough travelers, bad trade, villagers stick to themselves. We, however, came prepared, and now we're prospering. When you ask him how they could afford all the supplies, he runs his fingers through his dark hair. Not against running an inn, but we don't really rely on guests. We're the ones doing all the trading. My hunters are a clever bunch and stay safe in the forest. In exchange for furs, claws, and bones, we get what we need and more, both in the south and north. He relaxes in his chair. We have a good life here. We spend a whole lot on armor, crossbows, lumber, spears, but in another 10, maybe 20 years, we'll have enough savings to move on to Havloven and not work for another day of our lives. We take risks, but smartly. The team is stronger than ever, and I have big plans for us. It's a story in his name. I mean, there's a story, but not a good one. He clears his throat. For years, I wanted to have an inn called Pelt, but in the city, it would be a bad taste. Towers and inns named with a single word were cheap, but had a nasty reputation. There was the Claw and Mugger, Basilisk, and Blissful, I think. The good places used at least two words: Empty Barrel, Rose in the Helmet, Empress Smile. Pighead was the exception. It was a real dive. Messel, it's just a pelt. Pelts are what we came here for and what will make us reach our goals. Surprising to find a skinned man so far north. And I ain't seen it so looking like this since my mom died. He shrugs. It's not a fascinating tale. Let's just say I wasn't part of this invasion. I'm glad I freed all those who were trained by the cities and Corsairs? He looks at the wall. It's not an L, it's an I. Ison, by the way, but I rarely hear the name. Need anything done? I could use a job. I assume you need a job for a road warden. Tell you what, he looks you in the eyes. There are brigands in the woods. Our place is a stronghold, so I'm not afraid of an open strike, but they've gotten more active in the last 2 years. One day they may steal our furs, and I have no doubt they're the reason why merchants come here only once, and bandage around gets expensive. Vince's hand together, camouflaging his paws. I want you to reach Howler's Dell, northwest from here. It's the largest settlement around here, and I'm sure you get there sooner or later. Ask Thais, the mayor, about Glaucia? Sure. The bloodthirsty wolf of a woman. There are rumors about raiding north. Glaucia is ready to let me break the truce with the locals. I'm willing to join forces with them to get rid of our band. We started nearby Dragonbone. Not too difficult, right? Just do it, and when you had a chance, a couple of days won't make much of a difference. I'll pay you 2 coins when you get back with the news. Fine? Ooh. 3. He searches for a moment. 2, he growls. Algos's band, he raises around your hands. Yeah. Any rumors? There's I don't talk about people who ain't nearby, showing first that you're someone with changing habit for. Well, yeah, for sale. I ain't gonna pick up a few things for you. Some food for travel. Start with apples, nuts, and there's not too much at once. We need to maintain supplies. Elk fur, blah blah. You can't tell me. Prices for it. Untouchable soup. Made a final ash for supplies. Any machine you'd like some weeks on roads. I don't have any blades, but if very well, you can take some of my crossbows. Ooh, a U-bow. Takes a bit of muscle to draw, but even a 16-year-old could handle it. It won't sell cheap. I'll be ready to discount in Helpful Alley. Oh god. There's so much to do. Let's talk to the guards. Woman in yellow armor is kneeling next to a brown hairy boar, which rests on the side of beast not as large as dark ones in the forest. It wants to touch a human's hand and brush with grateful grunting and rabbit twitches of behind hooves. No matter how friendly it appears, it's still tethered to the well, and you have no doubts that its charge would leave soul dead in the breath. The woman knows she's just forward to the boar's disappointment. So, the new road warden, she points at one from her chain, first all in the question. We don't need anything now, but when we travel with our furs, we can use them as assistants. She was around 30, but her warm voice and bright smile of camouflaging the touch of time from a unparted face like many red-haired people with freckles. Her skin is unhealthily pale. The boar rides up to her, absorbing her boots and effortlessly sniffing her food beneath the beaten ground. She pats his back and maintains focus. How about a game or two? We have a bit of time, we can talk about that, this and that. Maybe you'll get a couple of coins or lose one. You can play dice or throw axe at a target. Use some dice. Your arrival, especially the dragon bone you put out, are cheerfully welcomed. The two guards are at a table from the inn. Remember, no magic, says one player. Face deadly serious. Game is new to you, but in no baffling way. 4 people can play at once. The one dice are long, only 4 dotted faces. Each time someone wins a round, they get a point. The person with the most points at the end of the game wins all the coins. But you don't feel like you have much control over the results. You share casual jokes, memories of blood, here pour beer, most the only thing the boar may get sick. 2 points an hour represented by smooth pillows. You don't really know how we got them. You don't get the strategy, or it's just pure luck. Ooh, nice. During the final round, you get ahead of everyone. The specters playfully comment on your moves. The winner takes all 3 dragons to place on a table and puts them in your pouch quickly. The chairs and moves in the building, and the guard yield thanks you playing certain things you need. You've been to the heart. We sometimes head south from there. There are good hunting grounds in the western halves. Like one is too overgrown, maybe the soil is different. Shrugs. And then moves the hair away from her forehead. But it's a risky spot. There are trees there and wolves, even the furthest ones. And even if you have to go through the tall grasses, watch out for what's on the ground. There aren't many arches in the trees. She wants to have a joke, but there are too many worms, even larger than a water leech. Tell me about yourself. What's after? We always get cold and serious. Not everywhere. We use names, stories among the friends. You ain't one. Don't make me have curses. Forage berries. Oh, don't worry about it. Usually we forage by ourselves, but he wouldn't ask you for a dragon for a meal. You give small jobs for people all the time just to see who agrees to do them. Wants to judge who's of use and who's too proud of their own good. And if you agreed, they just be sure to get those berries today. And don't try to take his tools away. He hates thieves. Questions. Not much to tell, honestly. There are many beasts around, both wild game and dangerous monsters. Spend their time surrounding by the swallows, they are willing to hunt, forage, trade. Expected to be close to the gate order. Like in Hollow Fair, but it ain't here to protect the gate. This stronghold was built long before we moved in. And not to fight off humans. Towers want to be used by those who observe the forest. We look for fires, dragons, and any winged creatures that are looking for us on the roof. Oh, Baldy, she nods towards the man who indeed is completely bald, has a great eye and sees them well, even in darkness. Here, everything lives here. I swear, we have a few dragons, the unicorn family, a battle between trolls and goblins, face 2 beastmen, oh, and a gargoyle, and a hunting queen shouts all the time. I can tell you all about them, but I won't. You know, hunters have their secrets. Goop seems quite attached to this boar. How could you not be? She raises her boar's head, but steps away and squeals if someone murdered it. It came up to us with the city, just in case. We had no clue how our first winter would go, so we needed some backup meat. And it works too. Cleans the dirt. She reaches out to the beast again, but it trots away. The woman straightens over with a pleased sigh. We haven't needed to eat it so far, but it's also funny. I learned in my whole village the farm boars are getting a bit smaller and more cuddly. Kind of like ibexes, so it's not such a wild, dangerous beast, but we don't let it get close to our animals or children. We usually hunt for anything you can eat or sell. If there's partridge, squirrel, or rat, we don't complain. But when we move as a group, we look for something larger. Deers and aurochs are delicious, but we don't always look for taste alone. There's values in bones, antlers, claws, tusks, things people use to make tools or sculptures. We use some of them to make tools and spears. You can never have enough spears. She pauses, looks at the strand of her hair and suddenly speaks again. And with furs, of course. When you find north of here, I'm sorry we don't really go to this region, just stay close to home, only sometimes move south or west. However, still willing to trade, they're fine with buying more than they need since they take wares to the coast. You know what? I've never seen such a beach, and I've been there for how many, more than 10 years now. The only part of the sea that I've seen was from El Pagos, which was placed on a hill. I've never put a toe in salt water. But El Pagos is a good place as long as you don't mock their order and act nice. They'll also be kind. Bosses are too serious for them to stand them, but at least they don't bite without a reason. That's something new. I've never been to White Marshes, but over the years I've seen people moving away from there south. They told us that this place was changed too much. Priest died, I think, and the new one awakened instead. Sorry, Warden, that's all I know. That's convincing. Well, I told you about knowledge of valuable. I don't know. 15 dragons, no less. Discount friend, so it depends on a friend. Let's say 14. If it's too much for you, just ask me after you spend some time around. Show us what you're capable of. Or play dice with us when you have an hour to spare. Those folks here, they crave gossip. Okay. There's an armorer here? You across the room, find a small open shed, not unlike the stable with them humble status. Tables, carving tools, hammers. As long as something can be solved by brute force, the space will find a way to do so. There are two people sitting on a long bench. First one is a male with an inch-long hair, cleanly shaven face, a long, thin yellow tunic, bare legs, and sandals. He ignores the person who's sewing a gambeson with great concentration. Second is a person is a boy, maybe 15. He's wearing a crude outfit for a farmer. He glances at you, but soon returns to sharpening a long dagger. Greetings. Mirrors his head, but it's the boy who speaks, focused on his task. He ain't talking. Tell him what it is you need. Manifest in confirmation looks at a piece of garment in his hands and looks around, shrugs, and returns to you with a raised eyebrow. Could you pass my clothes if they're torn? Shakes his head and points to uneven seams in his own tunic, grabs a crude bone needle and shows you the broken head. You wouldn't even if he had the tools, said the boy, but you can try harvest on a gale trucks. Learn to trade? Kind of. Yes, we both aim masters. See, there's not a soul to teach us, so once I'm ready, I'll try hunting instead. Picking things roads is boring. The man grunts a sound, though you don't understand it, seeing your face. The boy chuckles. He said safe. Let's meet in the middle. Boring, but safe. After a few minutes gets back. We pulls out Dragon Ball shrugs and another one way both now. Wait, what? He points at the laces in the front of your jacket, raises unclenched fingers to his shoulders, and gently spreads and lowers them, obviously taking off a robe. You follow his command and allow him to properly inspect your gambeson. After a few minutes, he gives it back and reaches out for his pouch. He pulls out one dragon bone and shrugs, and another one and waves both of them in the air, pursing his lips. He makes a few speech-like noises with empty mouth, groaning what sounds like I don't know. 1 hour, your jacket will be carefully patched up. Let's go to the well. Okay, never mind. There's no need for a well. Let's go outside and forage for berries. You even knew what she was talking about. You put you into gloves and look around. Brush for safe distance. Take long before you notice the first serpent laying in a rock somewhere in the thicket. You're just not at large, and you summon them. Hiss at you. Strip closer to jabs to hook you to a distance. You don't know much about these berries. They're round and reddish. You wouldn't trust such color even if you're looking for food in the wilderness. Plants don't have thorns, but the leaves are harsh. So you make sure to thoroughly cover your skin with your clothes. You have to look through many bushes to find a bucket, but your presence of insects and snakes doesn't allow you to relax. One of these shrubs is not like the other. One of the bushes in the back has more berries than the others. They're purple. As you squeeze one of them, you recognize they're marsh blues. In small amounts, they're added to pies, sauces, and beverages. For delicate sourness and sweetness, unique, not intrusive. Stealing a cup of them will make one sick if not poisoned. You're surprised to see them in the middle, far away from the wetland. You can use them at an alchemy table. You can find it. For now, you've put a fistful into one of your jars. The others are still a bit greenish. Gather the berries. Turn to the gate. You return to the courtyard. Two of the guards are participating in a friendly skirmish. They're wrestling accompanied by a crowd. Put the fruits on the counter. Great. He peeks the bucket. I got cabbage stew from a good goose chunks for you. I serve you to merchants if they're around. These are not overcooked. And like I said, I rarely have food to spare, but feel free to ask if you ever stop by. You may be lucky and not be cooking my whole life. Thanks. How did that little hook of mine work out for you? I see you still have in your hands. Alright, John's gonna go. You make a single coin? Sure. Thanks for not needing anything else. What do I have? 7. I need to go northwest eventually. Road uphill meanders slowly, slowing you down and forcing you to pay close attention not only to the shadows of the trees, but also to the tight rocky pastures you can't but notice a few caves and few ambush spots. Keep an eye out for any signs of life. That doesn't look great. Standing in front of the gate, you hear no voices, no tools at work, no steps, and birds lie among the collapsed roofs and floating, singing, walking as free warriors. If you want to travel any further, you'll need to ride around the palisade. Church rooms may take a lot of time. The Burnt North will lead you to the village. The Magenta River reaches you from the east, where you can see a saggy fence surrounding an overgrown pasture. Behind the burnt building in the east, you see an only barren field. Behind the burnt building in the east. This town got fucking attacked by dragons. The palisade is in good shape and the entrance wasn't even touched by the fire. It was torn away, possibly thrown. The amount of force would have been huge, and you expect that would push the gate into the village, not away from it. You don't see marks of a dragon bite. A troll could toss its planks, but after so many years, you see no paw prints. A mage? You can't really tell. Broken logs of planks are charred while the wooden walls rot and corpses. You see no ashes or dust, proving the fire happened long ago. It smells awful and there are no reasons to stay for long. You see no furniture, just some broken shelves. It was just a storage room. The valuable odds and ends are already taken by scavengers. My village. The buildings, some of which have collapsed, are made of wood. Now charred and rotten. You spot claw marks on the walls, especially close to the doors. A large round of him could belong to a dragon or a large wolf, larger than the grey ones, or a corpse eater. Too many options to make a guess. No beast remains in sight. You find a range of clothes, furniture, odds and ends. Only one object seems to use a basket with a fish trap made of vines and willow branches. Large fish. It would be quite large, but I can fit on my saddle. Slight aching in my stomach. Your face is dirty. To southeast. We'll make our way slowly up this village. We found a small backyard. Ground is beaten. The ground explodes. Only right next to the buildings would have been a fair spot for trading dancers and fighters. Stakes, palisade covered with paper carvings by children. The revolt has been pushed into the corners of the house. The furniture is broken. You find something of use on one of the piles, rusty piece of steel. You recognize it's quarrel for a crossbow. Ooh, woo. Tracks of human footwear and many more 8 footprints covered the path. As far as you can tell, fresh footprints lead to the village. One stake spread to the ground of rotten, covered in mushrooms, small flowers, insects, and worms. Squirts of animal gobbling food, though you cook them to house to hunt the birds and eggs. Males must turn to a forest quickly. The grass is in the north, surround dozens of tree stumps already covered with moss and fungi. I shouldn't end the forest, especially not in this area. It's unpredictable. Clearing in the west? No. to northwest village. The colorful grass covers the entire pens pasture. The large stone placed above. You see a couple of small sheds. Soul doesn't want to approach large rooms in the north. The terrible stench of feasting around food scares you off as well. The paths are covered with goblin footprints. Daytime, so the pack should be asleep. The beasts were active. They would try to scare you off or to hunt. This is your territory, and once you wake up, you'll face a furious enemy. Majority of the village, the longer you stay around, the sicker you feel. Takes a guard. Yeah, I'll explore the rest of the village another day. During the west. You don't find a single sign of the livestock lived here in the past, any bones, horns, antlers, dung, have already been devoured by wilderness. Pasture ends at a river. The breach in the southern fence was made by some brute force. You find axe cuts and spots are ultimately broken away. After all these years, there are no tracks you could follow. You're surrounded by what looks like field plowed in late autumn. It's sheared by hundreds of rains. Snowfall is just a few clumps of grass and wheat, but a place like this one, been for years, should have already turned itself into a green lea. A barren field, maybe it was overused, but you still expect the weeds to sprout. A curse? The path leading west from here ends at the edge of a field, shifting into a meadow, then a forest. The meadow is lush and colorful, so dense it's unsafe for a rider. For a couple minutes, you lead Sodal with a rope, avoiding the potential disaster in case of a hoof falling into an animal den. Being forced to travel around the palisade every time you get here is going to be a pain. Most of the tree trunks look similar to have comparable size. They were most likely planted on so purposely cut down and used by locals. So cutting so many trees at once could provoke the wrath of the herds. The process should be spread across a couple of seasons, and you can't be sure that was the case. In the east, the clearing turns to wild forest. In the west, the north, the clearing turns to wild forest. In the east, your road leading north. You're at the closed northern gate, and the collective road is partially overgrown. You hear running in the river in the east. Spur. Pushed or pulled doesn't move an inch. Someone spread dirt and rocks both underneath and around it, seemingly to keep the plank stuck in the ground. You head to the quenching flames. Blah blah blah. The river is too wide. Water is cold and clean, but you're tempted to at least wash your face, neck, and hands. Dozens of hunters and fish looking for tasty leaves, but you also try to avoid their predators. Dance likely and whatever your presence anyways. There's something else buried along the kelp. A rusty sickle sticking out of the ground, a couple of stone axes and hoes, wooden handles, and a large wagon covered with moss, but you recognize their shapes. Why would someone drop them here? On the opposite bank, the meadow turns to a thick forest, potential for a rider. Wash yourself in the river. Okay, you're not. It's time, 9 hours until. We enter the wetlands with their many streams, ponds, and fishes. Large birds run 5 streams. For human, maybe animal walking in parched realm, but the overwhelming storms or insects prove that it's a realm full of life. The dangerous teeth and claws is hidden below the water's surface. This plant shouldn't be alive, not without leaves. It doesn't for some of the other trees and wetlands. Something else. You get off the horse and prepare your axe. Don't chop the fucking sacred tree, my friend. Get your horse and prepare your axe. Of course, filled with dirt and dead plants, and it smells like an old corpse. Roots are spreading far, breaking through the water surface. You don't see any saurians in the grass. Shore you approach the table like altar, made with 3 limestone slabs. Were these rocks originally as formed as they are now, or was there a point in time centuries ago when they were precisely shaped and decorated by masters of artistry? There's no way to tell. Swallow is peacefully observing the dark grass, slapping flies with its tail. Whether it is that you feel in the air, it's clear that your companion sees his place through very different eyes. There's a strong spirit hidden in this tree. Maybe I should bring in a gift. Do I have anything of use? Interesting is the clever we find a comfortable glory in its hunting form. You see a part of the natural order and a condition of death. From you see the looking like simple wooden clean god game. Well, it's bird set, but you know the value of balance, cycle of things. You wonder what sort of offerings people bring here. You doubt that an altar like this will play any ceremony function. The water you so closely without knowledge how deep it gets. You've considered this one could be cloud flesh and mud. Close your sharp breathing again while the water is sturdy. It's also shallow. You see vegetation, swimming insects, and small fish. All of them stay away from the tree roots, which look like spiderweb covering the bottom of the pond. You see anything that could catch your attention. You know, for another thing that's lying is short, it's brown covered in hair that resembles that on your arm. When you touch it, it's moist, soft. Good try. I do just flip? Nope. What is a kick? Using these bends your hold tightly in your heart. You know, it's warm, but you hold it for but you know, it's gentle itching your skin. That's sus. There's until dusk. You slow down among the shrubs. A small pack of draglings fisting the carcass with grey arc, one of them with red feathers in his arms, trying to stop and get you a curious glance. His head tails left and right, forward and back, which could just he would move forward and try to its meal. You wonder what happened if you were on foot. Will let you be satisfied with their prey, or will they run after you? But if so, for what reason? For now, you have enough space to move forward, yet still stay stable. Route road serves as a path for you well. And the forest on your left becomes sparse and brighter than a dozen humans. The path ends with a massive wooden gate. Stone wall separating you from the glow of light behind it isn't as tall as the roofs, but you can't imagine climbing its top. There are pretty much no cracks. I'm seeing bricks, no sign of hours of labor, especially considering how massive the summit is. That's why it's a city district. The birds and monkeys are now disconnected, replaced with the sounds of carts running, hammer saws, laughter, and shouts. Maybe we can rest here. Young man leaning across the crow's gate, covered by its shadows. Young, tan, has a short, elegantly trimmed red beard. Beneath the green gamesone, he wears an expensive tunic decorated with colorful trim. From his arm hangs a steel helmet, though the metal is so thin that it's mostly made of wool and leather. He moves into the light and takes on the posture of a disciplined soldier, not a mercenary. Standing upright with his chin up, there are two weapons on the ground, leaning on the wooden beams of the gate, and next to him is steel and a wooden club. He doesn't reach for either. He dismounts smoothly, still having some vigor left. The sword holds its tail high. A narrow path leads forward, north, towards two field workers, one with a hoe and the other one with a pitchfork. They wave at you. You can't see their faces, but the clothes are simple. Gray pants and vests made from hemp and wool. Wave back. You talk for a bit, looking forward towards you and pointing your mount and walk away, disappearing behind a wall's corner. Guard smiles, you avoid your eyes. He has clear throat before he speaks. Welcome, traveler. If you're in here to make trouble, Howersdale welcomes. If you're not here, or here. Basically, if you're not here to make trouble, Howersdale welcomes you. We have to, what? The widest flower there is. He bows, you realize it's a well-practiced performance. If it's new garments you're looking for, you can order everything you need right here, in all colors, shapes, and sizes. Capes, boots, vests, robes, or if you're yourself a master for the needle, I can show you what fabric you're looking for. Backed over her head, he glances at your mount in a moment of silence. His eyes get wider as he observes with childlike fascination. You want to, but no sudden movements. He follows your instructions even though you carve for face no attention. Demands careful touch. Cigar grins brightly. I'm Leto, your new warden. I want to see your mayor. See, okay? The mayor's busy, but I'll ask her. Give us a moment to let you in. He knocks on the gate, which is then pulled inward by 2 other guards. Man, my horse is gonna get stolen one of these days, I swear to God. The mere bit of simple house is made of wooden beams and covered with thatch, while the shore house is even more modest with a roof made of planks. Watch tower has a ladder made of ropes and sticks, no stairs. Just give me a moment. The guard strides away from before you finish his last word. Mother's close the gate behind you and observe your mount carefully. Your eyes run east to Rain Creek. Calming sound, eh? That's Harlech Creek. The guard, like most of the locals, is taller than you, wide but shallow. There's been but in the years, Pa told me there used to be 9 bridges, neighbors crossing with their boots, and their hand this end is clean like a raindrop, but there ain't any many fish. Is that supposed to be like Irish, Scottish? I don't know how to do the accent. You're all getting what you get. We're the cleanest village in the north. Rightly. The guard turns still alone. Shall we? She can't even come now. Part of in labor, aye? The mayor wants to be there when the child arrives, but has to show you the village. Okay. You've reached rush hour. Tie him out here. We'll get your kids. Keep the kids away. Most of the neighbors are getting ready to celebrate. Once you're done, he grabs your rope ladder. The view from up there is gorgeous. Even though the ladder swings in all directions, the guard gets to the top quickly, like a monkey climbing the creep. Climbing up creepers. You, on the other hand, need to stop and wait for the ladder to calm itself when you join. The man on the wooden platform, you're a bit dizzy. He's leaning on the wooden parapet, observing the area with a smile. You see, these in a place like Towers Dell. The guard points in every direction, giving you no time to contemplate. Blah blah. Fox and fashers. Sunlight. It's honey, the most fragrant bread, softest wool, and the beer. It is excellent. Sounds like a city merchant is trying to sell an old house. The islet in the middle, the islet in the middle connects both parts of the village. According to the man, the northern gate is hardly ever opened, as it leads nowhere now. Near the eastern gate, there's an apple. There's the Ape Ale Inn. You can find a bed and victuals and stall where sports of work, unless you annoy him with the pointless talk. And the opposite side of the creek, there's another white house. Belongs to the Bayern, the best clothes in the north, of case live in the southeast. With their husbands, carpenters live with their kids. Some of the large buildings could accommodate 2, maybe even 3 generations once. There could be more than 100 dwellers here. There's stopping a speech with any sign pointed eyelid again. There, see the mayor's coming, the one wearing purple. You're free to join her, traveler. I gotta quickly have 2 steps right enough to make you sure that's a bad idea. You wait for the ladder to find its balance. You relieve when you touch the ground again. You untie your palfrey and follow the guard. You pass a small pasture. Along the entire path north, more people observing you finally casually greeting as they focus on their own task. Finally, reach the main square. A large tree grows in the center. Surrounded by dark water, held together by a thin wall, perfect for sitting, but the smell coming from the liquid makes you think of rotten eggs. The faint reminds you of the tree you saw in the south next to the swamp altar. There's a conspiracy about these trees and the roots, aren't there? And north to the Ape Ale Inn, different stools and benches. It's open for guests. The villagers are chatting, dining loudly. You catch their glances in the dining room, blah blah. Someone's calling them mugs. There's a wide wooden roof next to the gate that departs. You run next to a donkey and a beam placed there for its purpose of movement. A hesitation starts to chew on a nearby haystack. You would have to make sure you don't struggle with your bundles. I thought I was gonna sneeze, but nah. It's a cheap meal, blah blah. Now, love, the mayor titters. Don't get distracted. Grabs a meal off his face. I need a few more spoons. You'll go and help Pa in the kitchen, eh? She gives you a radiant, though apologetic smile and turns her attention back to her companion. The long full-sleeved linen dress must have been dyed once in and blue, and one's in red to achieve its dark fancy purple, which would draw what looked in Hovland of Lavin. From her left shoulder hangs a green woolen cape as thin as shawl. The brown belt in her waist has a large steel buckle that portrays a deer with unrealistically large antlers going in all directions like tree branches. Unlike her tribe, she's pale with a powder and rough cheeks, and her lips match her outfit, though they're a bit closer to wine red. The thick gray strands of long blonde hair look more like fashion choice than a result of aging. Her eyes are the color of her cape, keen and vigorous. She's shorter than most people around, though she would still be the tallest woman in most northern settlements. While she's around 40, her slim hands add fragility to her appearance, even though her appearance is upright, her legs confidently crossed. Her voice assertive, she makes plenty of gestures, but her shoulders hardly remove. A few more minutes, the boy lets out a single gentle cough, and after a pat on the back, the mayor puts him on the ground. You did a great job, Lope. Now I need to speak with our guest, darling. She versus one of you girls and take him to father, will you? Her tone suddenly gets firmer, leaving no hint of question or suggestion. Yes, Ma, she responds, both her hair and her eyes are nothing like those of her brother, and neither of the kids represent their mother. So we have a robe warden again. Please sit down. Time for a guest. The water hits silently into the rocks. Observe you out carefully. As long as the shit is eaten onion, then puts it on a polite smile once your eyes meet. Shyly looks away. I'm sure you're hungry. My husband will bring us something soon. Appreciate it. Don't mention it. Hunger makes MP vision. The day is too nice for that. As we're waiting, it'd be good to help you understand something. If you're about a mercenary, I can imagine a single reason for you to choose a realm for your wardering, and that's all after Serena's disappearance. There's no glory or treasures to find here. Her pale fingers from a tent and a stomach, and class. You were sent here by merchants who want the peninsula. You introduce yourself and touch more on the obvious sides of the potential deal with the guild. So you need chiefs, troops, blah blah. Trade rounds would bring new life to this place. You try to sound warm. It's a win-win. Through your speech, reserve your paying with attrition. I see. If it was that simple, I'd be eager to applaud, but it never is that simple, is it? I appreciate you're coming with a carrot, not a stick. But when it comes to the guild, there's always a catch. Even if I worry, you can put trust in the words of a stranger. Your honesty has nothing to do with truth necessarily. It doesn't put me in an easy position. As you can imagine, here into this trick I learned about during my studies. She theatrically clears her throat, patting her chest with one hand, covers her mouth with another, leans forward and rests on her elbows, allowing her hands to freely make gestures. You make a deal with Summit, flour and wool in exchange for coin and tools. You send the first traders, and they apply that you're ready to pay for more. Let's say parchment. Months later, you want no more rye. Just parchment and wool. We can't even butcher any more mouflons, the locals say. Don't worry, you answer. We'll send you a small flock. Just turn one of your fields into a pasturage. As she pretends to speak as different characters, her voice comically shifts and she has no issues switching between accents. Bridger with a kind smile. She swings her hand above her table. Another year goes by and there's more parchment. The village lacks more crops. The tribe needs not just tools and coins, plenty of coins, but also seeds. And the guild is not satisfied. Sending our wagons costs a lot, and they're more highwaymen now. If you want us to come again, you'll need more mouflons and send us their cheese. And guess what? With a haunting laugh, she turns up and spreads her arms like someone a third of her age. Turns out that the village can't say no anymore. They lack supplies, seeds, and land they can't refuse. And she, it's birds. Not say anything stupid. Pause doesn't make for long. I see we understand each other. Let's finish the introductions. I'm Tice, one of the keepers of the apple Ape Ale Inn. And the mayor of Howellersdale. I assume it will be convenient for you to take my answer back to Hovland. She wonders for a moment to say, when you expect the first caravan after winter? It depends on what you can sell and what you want in return. After conversation goes on. The food gets served, refreshing aroma. All of them referring to the mayor as her mother. In the end, the innkeeper himself shows up to wish you a good meal. He's wearing a clean orange tunic and not so clean apron made of hemp. He politely introduces us as Eric's, and after confirming you won't get sick from what you've paired, he leaves you and his wife to your conversation. Thais clears meat into smaller pieces and eats slowly after expressing her enjoyment with a hum. Meanwhile, we get to the important stuff. Sounds like nearby ground is fertile. The village could gladly pay its taxes in grain and vegetables, with the exception that a squad of soldiers would provide additional protection. Our youth is strong, she claims proudly, and we don't need your guards on our walls, but a lone road warden won't keep the roads passable. We need fighters willing to patrol the paths, maybe in the heart of the woods, and that's what we expect in return. You're not an expert when it comes to linen, cheese, and wool, so the mayor spent a good couple minutes describing the outstanding quality of what the village has to offer, especially the clothes, which are meant to be as unique as those made by Master Crispus. You vaguely recognize the name of this tailor shoemaker, but you never earned enough to pay him for as much as a single sleeve. And of course, we never reject some steel and bronze. We lack allies for sickles and scythes. She never repeats a question about starting a trade route. Truth be told, is not sure what the potential has to offer. It's going to take more than your village to convince them. Understandable, but you won't find much in the other tribes. They have barely enough to survive, even after they trade for our crops. However, we have the only decent soil in this realm. At least people of Gale Rocks have salt and barrels of fish, while creeks sell meat and wood. Actually, if you haven't been in the creeks yet, the furthest village in the northeast, you could give them a chance. They could use the help with keeping their roads safe. What marshes in their hands, while the old Pagos are close to worthless for a trade route, that is. After those words, she stands up. Just now wipes her hand, clean cloth just folds her clave. So tell me, Leto, how's Havlavin? I haven't gathered much news since an invasion. The person rests her own bed, but the new Jeffries raised their own fight. It's far from great. Children who lost their parents in the war have no trade in hand. There's not enough of them to stand in the way, make people unable to prosper. And I was afraid I was locked to hunger. Her chuckles were trimmed, scoring could know what's wrong. When invasion started, some merchants were cheering in their houses, hoping that they would sell the blades of food that they had stored. Can you believe it? This panic makes us rich. She imitates the voice of a pompous man. That's why we had the southerners reaching for villagers. They found almost nothing to eat. Staying in a remote peninsula truly can be a blessing. She pauses, hesitant to go on, but then shakes her head slightly. Well, we can't change the past. How can I help you, Leto? Looking for Asterion. She stares you in the eyes and turns to her Soto. Is your palfrey a mare? We have 2 jacks who could use some mules. Right, there's no time for romances of giant animals. If it would take almost a year to correct it all. It was all just a thought. I'd rather avoid long talks about the male. I can't believe they let me choose my horse's freaking gender. I'm going to assume it was indeed Sirius go with you. You're already different from him. I like it when travelers don't try to sell me bluegrass. It's just a saying. His words are stronger than his deeds, and he's no longer welcome him. What were his wrongdoings? If you have to know, you failed, and you won't get a second chance. He was meant to escort Agita, a daughter of mine, to her betrothed in Gale Rocks. She's a great archeress, and the road from here to the coast is not that dangerous. When they saw goblins on the road, Astern ordered her to push through right into their trap. She touches her deer-shaped buckle. They got jumped like a bunch of wealthy pilgrims. A road warden worth their gruel should know better. You'll fight with a blade, but my girl, she never had a chance. He disappeared soon after his pitiful attempt at apologizing to me, and we closed our doors behind him. For good. I'll let you know if he ever tries to return. Try asking him for him in the north. He spent most of his time between White Marshes, Gale Rocks, and Creeks. Here, he wasn't that eager to share his plans. She's with the Fogs now. The goblins were after food, so they carried her shell away. One day she's going to charge at our walls, woken and empty. Even though she was a bit mawkish, her heart was strong and patient. She listened to people, was ready to help them and carry and cry with them. I could tell you stories, but what for? Let the dead rest. Why'd you let him leave? He didn't do anything, well, forbidden by our laws. He's simply stupid and cannot be trusted. But this isn't Havloven. We have no rich folk to dread. We treat each other fairly. One good thing I can say about him is that he didn't try to justify his decisions or avoid the consequences, but I'd rather have him prove first he can do what's asked of him. At one point there were 12 kids living in a house, 9 girls, 3 boys. They come and go, as it should be. Few of them are already with the forest, most are all grown now and starting their own families. To be perfectly clear, they aren't exactly our children. It's custom in our village for the mayor to look after the orphans. Thankfully the Erics has a big heart and much more patience than I do. Did you spend I wonder, back in Hovland, did you spend any time in the backwood corner? It used to be this dark, dirty alley with muggers working even in daylight. I sat there with Octavia, the miller, in exchange for doing torture. She had this small wooden hut. It's very interesting that I get to choose, like, the history of this world. Basically however I want. In the wild, the place is still called the bad part of the city. Boarhead makes good coin, selling beer and ale to students, mercenaries, and adventurers. The whole land may turn one day, quote, one of the local traders, but Wood Corner would still stay the same. She sighs and release, puts her left hand on her hip, comforting, don't you think? There are still these places, these dark corners, where you can always find what you expect. Living there, though, that sounds awful and always was. I bet the thugs of my youth are no longer around, so I wouldn't count on them giving me a free pass, but I wish I could have a chance to drink a mug or two with the innkeeper once more. The old lady was always too good to stand in that muck. What would you take to consider joining? I can't consider it right now. But if you want me to give you some answers, let's see. Some gestures of goodwill will be a good start since you're the guild's messenger and you know you can be relied on. First step, blah blah. Of course, you have the power to handle tax negotiations. Do enough for my village and I'll hand you a beautiful signed letter. A list of all the things my neighbors are looking for as well as what they can give in return. Your swears are going to see more than enough to prepare their offer. I think that's fair. Mundane jobs, okay. Perfect. One more thing though. If you go behind my back, I'm not going to wait for a dagger. I'll end you first. I'm sure people already know. We have a new rural warden. Maybe ask around, see if anyone needs your help. The more my neighbors trust you, need you, the more willing they'll be to offer you to pay you better. What can I help? What can I do for you? So kind of you, but let's see. Let's see how you can walk, shall we? We are showing green eyes, just locking you, blah blah. Since Darren's experience low trade in roads and not much news reaches us. Be so kind and help me learn some interesting tales about our neighbors. I knew that you'd tell me you're a true sage. Do you have something to share? You don't say. Knowing that, I'll prepare a few very tempting suggestions for the officials. Isn't it clear that Cameron Brigand's days went so quiet I almost forgot about them? I'm surprised they managed to stay alive till this day. I think such an experienced group here shows that the officials misjudged this land. How do people dress in the city these days? Oh my god. More just wearing these really long dresses and robes, which, long for my taste, got mud stains after every rain. I see no reason to keep shoes completely hidden. If the business drive won't stand out that much. Who knows, maybe our little village here is going to help those unfortunate clothers. I'm sure we can spare a couple of sheets of fabric. I've heard the necromancers in the north. Yes, I have. After you ask her to more, she gains her confidence. I mean, White Marshes, for sure. I don't know all that much about what's happening there. We avoid their lands if we can. I shouldn't gossip about it with strangers. We can talk about it on another occasion. Very well off, even more so than the other people in the village, which are secret. There's no secret, traveler. There's hard work, risks, and sacrifices in the board of those who care about me. Good things that happen to me or shine on my people just as much. Think about it before you mention it again. I'm by Howler's Dell. It's all it seems. The race village far north. Though I hope it's still improved this and that. Life's good here. We have what we need and a lot of what we want. Building on top of more than 12 generations of hard work and bravery. Good term about the movements, blah blah, all their fucking trade stuff. She admits some talk, we don't hear no tales, songs, and rituals or days of prayers like listen to a tax collector. Only the very end of her speech is mentioned the wisdom of the elders, now kept in the teachings of the druids to help her guide those who trust her. They heal our wounds in our gardens, she explains, but then changes the topic to all the fruit trees, hairs, and nuts in the woods. So it seems like they have a very source. Religion and history is kind of a very sore subject of them, I guess. That isn't, or they're just trying to constantly sell themselves their stuff. We're talking to place. I don't know where you are from. What's your story? Have you lived in Holland your entire life? These days, for the first time, being surrounded by a couple of small houses and fields. Strange feeling, isn't it? Even after my second winter there, I felt like a stranger. But those who know how to live in the countryside, close to wilderness, we just find a new home for ourselves, don't you think? I don't even want to think about their tragic fate. No one could negotiate with the wrath of the herds. And I better not find you upsetting my neighbors with these side questions. It was a challenging time for all of us, someone we won't forget. Are you sure? As first I heard about Glocka has been around since years back, but she's not much of a nuisance. I'm just a messenger who's asking for you to join forces with them. Well, I can't give you my answer. I want to ask our hunters for endanger lives and preserve from gossip. Ask around, learn more about it. What a splendid idea. There are only 3 villages in North White Marshes further north of the Rocks, but northern coast. Creeks in the far east. Bring me news from the place and you'll get my answer. I'm paid for passing the message from here to Peltnor. It's asking me to arrive. A different deal entirely. How much are you being paid if I can ask? Okay, no, 2. Or I guess this job is definitely worth more than fucking 2 dragons, but sure, I'll take it. Because this is half of the job. What if you breed in nearby villages? God. Meat of the tribes, yeah, it's delicious. Any druids say that birds and fish are better for you than pork and mutton. Would you believe? And if they're right, our creek has very little life in it. We rarely catch more than 2 fish a day. That weird tree in South Area with altars in front of it. You mean the Beholder, the guardian spirit in our wetlands. Every fall we bring our gifts in return and provides us with blessed fruit, the flesh of the forest. It's older than the oldest books and the oldest thoughts. Druids help us honor its sleep, and show us how to ask for its help. Neither of these rituals would be of use to you. Maybe you can talk with neighbors. And blah blah. First help desk. Rooms to share? Not really. I have my own things to worry about. Neighbors keep their own company, but everyone to seek help from my wife and all the forest speakers in the Mug of Ale. You say every 6 hours getting here any day now. I guess I'll come tomorrow. Don't even know. There's one vagabond, but he wasn't here for long and didn't do much. Lieutenant Fellow. He talks loudly, but is afraid of everything, especially guards. His face is touched by flames. He has a big ballista. What the fuck? He says his word with a strange accent, smirking, and a large bird and this beast of burden. I do know what to say. He went south and is most likely gone. Use a room. Sure thing. Can you find see? Just tell me when you're ready. Let's say guys. You're in a mood for spending. I see nothing special. English not convinced will blow. It's oh my god, I'm fucking cleaner now. Didn't get any rashes though. I got fucking whatever. How many do I have? 5. Dark and inside and crowded, and keeps light. So you can only guess that most girl notice your attention. She makes her feet and approaches you with a few skips. Very pretty tall, just worn through tunics and all this. It makes looks like a sack. What does she need? Master Road Warden, me here. Bored, oh so bored. Please, mister, tell us a story or two. For each traveler sees with different eyes. The children gather around and ask for a minute for them to gather their friends or siblings. Short, sweet, though at one point it does get a bit cruel. The youngest kids cover their eyes, which doesn't block their hearing in any way. It's too dark in here, I can't hear. As you get to the end, attention disappears. The old kids clap for a bit, keeping their dignity intact, while the younger ones start to laugh and argue loudly about the best part of the tale. 2 kids start to wrestle, pretending to be characters you just portrayed, seeing the adults decide to intervene. You send them 2 turn to show your respect. The girl that I previously talked to thanks you for their time. My pleasure. The trader stall is already closed. Follow the guard's directions, blah blah. Through the open doors, you catch himself. When the 4 is sitting at one bench, table is covered with fabric, striped needles made of bone and iron. She's sewing a very long sleeve of what's to become a blue tunic. You observe her for a few minutes until, without sparing you so much as a glance, she encourages you to speak with a grunt. So Taylor, you found one. Just remains Bion. Could you answer a couple questions? I can tell, but by that I mean close to high, blah blah. I don't have the money for any of this. You head south to the large branch gives in ways, both 50 you want to speak with our guides and teachers. But you're any welcome here, turn back stranger. I know why. You can. You're from the outside and you can't be trusted as boards and slaves in the United Church would crush us. They had a chance before we allow you to spy on us. We need to make sure it's worth it. I'm your new word warden. Are you sure no still near? You can handle ourselves. The changes up show you some of you. Not a spy. I don't believe you. I don't want any trouble. Troubles bring their troubles onto us. Okay, fucking whatever. You'll get a little bit of health left by lost in the very beginning of the thing. Your sleep ends, and your usual 1 hour break is instantly interrupted by noise. You stand up, walk to the window, and see the reason for your commotion. A group of workers just outside, in drinking and laughing, and Eric's innkeeper is also among them. You could join them, but if you do so, you won't get a good sleep night's rest, and after a long day, you may end up exhausted. Is that my vitality? Is that what it is? Yeah. You shark trans surrounded by smells of ale, blah blah. Use the next week the best you can. Just one of them nice sleep for you. After that, if you may be a stranger, your presence is welcomed with joy. When you ask about your own journeys, you prefer to keep most of them yourself. When the hunters encourage you strongly to travel to creeks, they're a fun bunch. See, they'll meet new people, but be ready to wake up with a spinning head. When you find Phil's place by your bed, covered in eggplant soup, bowl of pears, and some crumbly biscuits. Once you get dressed and go downstairs, a young boy covered in mud speaks unusually loud and enthusiastic, mentions the soil has already been brushed and watered. You, yes, water my horse. You nod and he runs outside with him noticing it. The innkeeper is sitting next to the door, from time to time carrying a bowl from others. As for Timo, she's usually at the creek just outside the southern wall. Unless she'll be here for the marriage rites, but it won't make her. I just have a husband. Okay. Look for Timo. For each gate, find 3 women just walking the path. Once they notice you, one puts things next to the fence, so they have to go ahead without her pace. I was hoping to speak with a traveler. She starts and looks away. Whenever she speaks, she's both very direct and distracted, struggling to explain her plans. After a brief conversation, you try to sum up. So, you seek a man who'd agree to take part in the marriage rites of your druids. She nods energetically, but then freezes. She's tan from work, but her face is young and smooth, and since her hair is hidden, her bright hazel eyes keep drawing your attention. Not just any man, she interrupts you angrily. Someone who stays in the sun and works hard, and for us and our kids. You ask if she has any children already, and after a moment of her exclamation, she takes it that she doesn't. You ask if it would make a difference for her to move to a different village. We live good lives here, safe and plentiful. I'd rather stay, but I could leave with a safe convoy. I'd wait around. You're on a group club. Make it dangerous. I'd rather just travel if I'm doing anything. I want to go back to the ruins because I only explored like half of it the last day. Fortunately, it's still empty. Try. Northern Gate. To the east, mostly see shady alleys damaged by buildings. Pushing the right tree. Don't find anything worth picking. Have dead quinces. Humans raised the bottom part of the tree, just about partially charred. Someone must have opposed the torch here, but the wet wood didn't burst into flames. It's filled with soil, and you find nothing interesting. It may take a especially with proper tools to help you remove the ground and rocks. The reeds was partially moved outside, but you find nothing of value. These spots fresh human footprints in the entrance of the latrine, most of which lead to and from the center of the village. You know, it says simple tools, against a pile of rubble, a wooden spade, all they're too old and too awkward to bother with. Is someone still living here? In every village, Minsk is its fanciest area, meaning that meant to charm the travelers. That this is more than you expected. The houses are as big as Havlavin, and the paved ground took a lot of work and materials. The walls not charred and riddled with holes are made with expensive clothes and wattle. The tiles for the roofs are also bought from distance. You don't find a single dragon bone or tool surrounded by bad smells. Well, it also stinks as a bucket, but you're afraid to use it anyways. Who knows how many birds have relieved themselves inside? How many ferrets found their death while climbing up the walls? Only hears and sounds coming from the large building. You summon to your aching stomach. Air my axe, step cautiously towards the scent of urine sweat. They're pulling in a drone in Mexican voice. I don't know what wanted to come to this. You better stay where you are, or whatever you got put inside, be it shoe, hand, it'll get a bolt. You like stranger on road warden, and you chose this place to be from all that there are. Even outlaws don't come here. Maybe you're telling the truth. So let's say this, my little ballista here, the ballista man. Here's all pulled and ready. But you won't do anything stupid, right? No running, no jumping around, no show your hands. Smith's voice less confidence when this accent is tricky for you. Yeah, tricky for me too. He could be from the distant south, but as long as you don't speak too clearly, you understand one another. You don't hear any other movements, breathing voices. You lean your axe against the doorframe and make sure that your knife is well hidden. Then smell urine hit your face. Why is this man like pissing in his house? Scoundrel is sitting in a blanket in front of the tent. He's skinny. He's very skinny, tan, dark hair. Seems sheer struggles. There are long claw scars on his left cheek. The one that would divide his eyebrow in half if it hadn't been consumed by a fire, like the rest of his forehead. His clothes are untainted by vanity. He's barefoot in a dirty linen shirt, full of sleeves, no pants. Down the stairs, I'm on a threat. You wipe your dust off your steps, but before you sit down, you hear the man's noise. Now, don't get too homey. It's the only place here that's not ashes and debris, and I'm not sharing it. You better right ahead. I already piled up whatever hasn't rotten. The candlelights are dancing and the burn fights arm seems crossbow enough to make sure he won't shoot you by accident. I saw you, Horace. Maybe you can help me. What are you looking for in this place? You don't sound like you're from north. Want to make sure there's not dead crawling. I mean, I guess I am looking for a Asterion, but also I do want to learn more about what caused this place to collapse. I never met him, but surely heard his name many times. He vanished long ago before I got to the coast. At first, people were asking about him. Now they think he's dead. Listen, I'm hungry, so damn hungry. I can't hunt or fish with all the ape men around. Can you share anything, Roaster? I may be a drifter, but I wouldn't be begging if I hadn't lost. I wouldn't be begging if I had not lost my bags on the road. I gave all my fruit. Okay, whatever. I'll just get more from the fucking city, I guess. You Sasha's after a couple so put your gifts and awful tickets lying on the floor. But yeah, I won't have running birds from ballista, and I need to save the bullets for the ape men. And because of these stinkers I can't roast here. Everyone hesitation grabs new plums. Now, if you have questions to ask, I say a lot. I'll say a lot to make you get me out here. You have any idea what happened here? Well, I won't guess, but I saw many ruins. There's no treasure and skeletons here, so this place means as much as dirt. Someone was barking too loud, so the beast broke through and made them quiet again. And that's that. Talking about nature's fury brings bad luck, don't you know? Where you want to travel now? Let me think first. I was in Howersdale, the closest village to the east and north, and people here, they're nice, you know, not like in Opagos. They're all boring and grimmer than a crow, but they cry coin for everything, and damn good coin. I left wanting to look around the ruins, see if there's anything left, then moved to Pelt and hired hunters to help me there. No luck, a bunch of griffs jumped my pack bird. I just bought it. Fast and nimble, but not brave enough to listen to me when all that screeching and scratching started, so I ran away with my bags. A few fell to the ground and I pulled them in here. But you see how it is. I won't travel around with a tent on my back. I need maybe a day more, and just a day, and I'll have all the iron scrap from the barrel so I can move forward. But I can't take all my stuff alone, and without me around, the ape men are going to break in and steal my shit. I need to hear, but since you have a horse come back tomorrow and help me return to Howersdale, how about it? I just need to know But the road is safe as it can be, I mean. I need you to make sure there's no danger hiding in the road from here to Howlers, or rather. I know there is some danger, but as long as you can get me there and safely return, I'm sure we can handle some roaming monsters. This ballista has more beast skills than I have fingers, and I've never lost a finger roaster, only the toes. He's just kind of strange. See, if this stuff, if the road there is clear, then come here tomorrow. We'll pack my stuff in your horse and move out, but don't come here when it's close to evening. We're gonna need 3 hours on our feet, and I won't push through the night. Even sleeping next to an 8-man tribe is safer, and don't make me wait too long. I can wait for a couple days if I find some food, but if I don't get back, I'll have to risk it no matter what. I mean, I see your point, but I've never been there. Can they afford my iron? Do they have means to pay for it? I need coins to find a handy bunch that will walk south with me. I need a new staff and bolts. I know the village is a nice place and even has a smithy of sorts. Large and safe when they seem to be rich and have enough hunters to guide you south. You could use iron for barter. Well, it's a short path, I guess. Fewer spots get surrounded by corpses. If you're sure it's the best option, fine. I'll trust the roadster's judgment. I always have ways to pay you, don't worry. I got you dragons, but I have to sell the iron first, so I'll need a bit of time. Time for a short rest would be plenty, I'd say, but if you want, I would give you a secret jar of mine, a fine mixture of scarce pigment and wind. Where's peddlers too? I just like to learn more villagers. I mean, sure, but I don't have connections there, you know, just my eyes. You know, when you go to Howlers, you'll meet the mayor there for sure. Ties and whatever you do, don't ask her where she got her coins from. She's rich, stupid rich, but don't ask her how this happened. Trust me. Well, that would've been nice to know before I fucking got there. Whatever, oh, that's good. Come back tomorrow, I'll make it worth your time. Those make me sick, me too, and the guts is thinner. Thinker gets easier with time. If you're patient, must be the air and smell of death, and the ape and piss. Tell me about yourself. Before I've got no legacy to keep alive in tales. I may tell you this, and after you take me out of here. There's no I've seen none. People say it's been less than 10 years since the herds came here, but I don't know if anyone's bothered with raising the pyres. If not, dead or all roaming in the forest now. It may be that there's a walker somewhere under the debris waiting for breakthrough like a dragon egg. You better not dig. You came to the wrong place. Time, moisture, and damn boars devoured all the loot. I've been here a couple of days now, and all that's left is iron I've carried here. I was planning to get back here with some hide muscle and clear the cleft buildings, but I doubt it's worth the time and risk. Nah, I don't think they're in north or east. I stuck to the western road, and no shell bothered me. Sorry, I can't help. Then you go northwest for stuff. Down here. Shapes of mountains are coming to its horizon and water gets messy because of family, deer, blocked road. You consider running around them by sparse meadow, but your presence also allows them to disquiet without much haste to group and run east. You've reached Hag Hills, the wall of stones that has blocked the city's grass. One well-established route through them leads through the valley where you find Tulis Camp. There are no maps to the islands, nor local tribes, only stories. The beaten path leads you to the garden bed of herbs and vegetables to an old yet abandoned mine hidden behind a massive door. Beauty skinny elder sits still on the bench, observing you like a sculpture, like crossed fingers and locking into admin. Oh, keep it away from your garden. Only worms. Too stupid to understand me. Won't eat what's mine. You smell and mention that your property is no worm, but the man refrains you with the accent. Let me see why you speak. I can hear you without magic, but I'll read your lips. He doesn't yell, but his voice reminds you of a combat instructor from the city. His face is wrinkled, but he sits straight. He's tan, blah, you're not from here, even and I will not welcome a stranger to this refuge. Say what you're looking for and be gone. May reveal to me who this man is. You ponder about his unusual vigor and unguarded garden. He may be a spiritual leader of a pagan community, most likely a spellcaster. Druids try to protect others from nature's wrath by teaching to respect the laws and bounds of and restraint. Different tribes develop their own traditions, but you know that in this province, priests prefer to be dressed as forest speakers. Explain who I am. What do you call him? I guess. He lowers his head and closes his eyes, taking slow deep breaths, forcing you to wait in silence. The elder is tall, with long hair and beard lets loose, and one tunic folds. His arms puts them in his lap, palms up. You know our customs, at least some of them. Those who know how to bow to the trees nor serve from wild creatures. The man says him approaches your palfrey without touching it. He observes eyes, mane, stomach, and rear. Sodal ignores its examination. This horse does not give a fuck about anything. My nose is right then. Astarion is dead, as are his plans, such as the fate of old dreamers. Are you going to look for him? Why? If he's vanished into the fogs, there's no point in putting yourself in danger. What do you expect to find? You may need my help. Do you believe that? A man with no power over animals could disappear in the wilderness and survive that long? I bow to your optimism. If what you say is honest, you and I could share our paths in one day. Defending those who can help themselves is something that makes me whole. You have some questions for me. How can I help you? I've met Astarion. He was here more than once. He was no one to stand aside and let events play out by themselves. The villagers from the north sometimes needed my assistance, and Astarion was serving them as a messenger. He wanted to settle down among the Strodes, maybe live freely. He had great plans and wanted to make the realm flourish, to rebuild ruins, get rid of the brigands, and clear the trade route. I told him that the forest needs more people, and this realm is too wild to feed and clothe everyone. His greed and dreams have eaten him, and now he is no more. He pauses and you hear his heavy breathing, and that's that, traveler. If you want to know look for a shell, travel north, far north. People there should know where it is. Your eyes see that's snow. People found copper in a cave. It's been abandoned for a long time now, so we turned it to a shelter. Stay close to the Secretariat's altar. We're servants, my wife and I, and this place is nothing more than a servant's house. One day me and my wife will be but defenseless old people, but we've studied pneuma and leaves for many decades. I'd heal wounds and illnesses in humans and animals alike, and the beasts listen to our whispers. The holy seed lets our shells wait for death and strength. What can you tell me? Prince I've lived here for almost a century, traveled both the paths and through the wilderness, but I will not be your guide or teacher, and if anything I can wish for, it is that you'll stay away from the woods. The creatures get angry the more we take from them. They do not listen to our warnings, and one day they'll bury us underneath a storm of claws and fangs. There'll be no soul to spare a tear after us. Don't poke the hornet's nest. Don't ride east and never use the path that runs through the heart of this land. That road is meant to save time, but brings only death. Be a servant and be an overseer, and do not try to bend this place to your will. Your will, anyone's will, is the key to danger and salvation. He's observing your lips. Do you need anything else? I've heard about some bandits. Were they bothering you? There are souls to steal from the white marshes of village in the north. They would not dare to show up here, but those bastards, those brigands are brutes, simpletons, aim their leader to Galaxia listens only to Forrest and will humiliate for the employment of her band. Do not be afraid of some lost warden. He gets go of his beard and lowers his head. She drifted so far away from her old self, a kind, bright girl from Gale Rocks. Look by her parents for now. Don't cross her, she'll find you. It's true that you should pay attention to the true gift in the forest, and to store offerings towards magnificent fruits that heal both shell and soul and make anyone who eats them stronger than they ever were. We gather around this altar whenever the winter ends, and whilst it requires a painful sacrifice from all of us, it prepares one soul for the future like no one else could. Wishing to help the wounded, I see a notable goal. 'Tis a good season to pick their flowers and leaves, but you'd leave me with nothing but bare stalks and the black tubers in the soils, and I quite like these tubers. You wish to take the oils away, take care of the rest. I got time. Grass off cloth bucket, keep some leaves from the dirt. I don't expect this many herbs growing in the city. Jones Master's face. I used to think Hobgoblins were not much in roads, tall houses. There were no trees and shrubs left to me, but do the humans there grow? You stab soils, blah blah. You get just sure the results. You gotta wash them up. Okay. You have a strong back. You get closer to the tiny waterfall and stand across and let the cool water do your job for you. In the meantime, washing your hands, the refreshing touch tempts you to take a sip as well. Finally, push the tubers on the bench, and the old man without comment grabs one of them and puts them in his mouth, chewing with a hint of a smile. Maybe I just woke up from a short nap. Come to a village in the east. The shameful tale ought to be kept in the past for the sake of the living. We temple the druids, the forest guides us, and we share its wisdom with the tribes. We and they ought to stay humble, take from the land that was needed, instead of what's wanted. Not because it's something we believe in, but because it protects us from the wrath of the herds. Stay safe, one needs to know how to be patient, take the restraint into their hearts, and to make the beasts until we keep the animals healthy, teach them to not approach our homes and travelers. Sounds reasonable. Seems like the path through the woods quite dangerous. It is long and dark path, and already caught many souls of its builders, paved with blood in the last 10 years are revealed as all for nothing since the days of grand discord. The tribes of this land are locking themselves in their fields and houses, too afraid to leave them behind, too untrusting to meet other souls unguarded. 'Tis not the first road to be claimed back by the wilderness, and will not be the last. You ask if he has any tips for you how to survive a trip, and he tells you the wiser just avoid it. He then reaches for his pocket, grabs a leaf, and puts it in his mouth, chewing gently. Death may take many paths to a stranger, but cats are the one enemy that's both as dangerous in its stealth as in combat. No human can fight it alone. If you see one of them and it's not too late, do not provoke it, make it wary but not scared. Look big, talk a lot, seek its action in its eyes. I leave your will, and I'm in need of your help. Not dangerous task, but one that I cannot complete myself. My spells are not enough to ask animals to fetch for me. At the northern coast, you'll find Gale Rocks. Village features. We want you to collect what's mined. This gorgeous creature is an emperor's carp, one of a few animals that thrive both in the seas and the lakes. And I found a large room that blah blah. Go to that place and find Photios. He has a young father and ocean folk with scars on his neck, which he will not hide. As for a male emperor's carp, but beware. I need it alive so I can make. Oh my god, this man is breeding fish. Okay. I do not sleep on dragon bones, but the new wisdom of blood, I'll use it to heal your wounds, though not more than once. That's fair. Keep some water clean just as best I can. One more will help us greatly. Great one will fall on this very night. This green meanders between treacherous precipice,
whatever, and you ride slowly. But in a Disney spot, circling harpies and below you a rolling mountain cat pursuing a mouflon. Take a sip from your water's getting into your hair is a bit dry. Path leads you down again to the small Moist Valley. You examine the remnants of the path. Yet behind you the road is clear now. So far but you hope they're in this place, you better do so soon. You're also not. Oh, Jesus. It's just a tiring record entire quickly, so you take a few short breaks avoiding the thorns and water because everyone's basically in bring path. You reach a convenient mountain pass with tracks from outside. Climb up the rocks, having plenty of spots. Get closer, smell the tree nuts on among the stones, pieces of old also it's a tunic. That's a dead end. Okay. 1 hour to get there, it's 5 hours till. The mushrooms, both above, rather everyone is necessary, but flour. You do not think your beast waters yourself when you're so far. Takes time and hay. Okay, what do you learn from your studies? And the man stops paying any attention. Fine, I'll grab a shovel and a barrel. Issue solved. I pay them in horse shit. Amazing. You're wandering through the village. 2 men, clothing carrying wooden log, insulting each other in friendly banter. Oh, the traitor. For you, a trader from a neighbor's treasure named Akios. Everyone bring here what they have in abundance. Sell the travelers or divide among the workers. Yeah, I need to explain myself. I ever thought he was more than once. He did not leave. I am smelly hoarder. At least he bought bay for me. A special one, sickle sword with a tip wider than 'twas at the grip, long as the fingertips of a soldier, and not a sword, not a knife, single edge, bought its own steel to melt for. More like cutting bushes, creepers, roots, and well, not fell tree, but it's a fine tool. Pathfinders use it. My pa used to have one as well. He chopped nuts with it. Nuts and pretty much anywhere. You know what? Something I need. Medicament for my daughter. No, she's just hurt anything. She's a teen, wants to start hunting in the woods, and I cannot teach her much, but I'd sleep better with her having a healing potion. If you have almost 8 days, bring the potion for the last dusk, and I'll pay you 5 dragons. I mean, I have one on me. You can think of 2 places, safe for beyond Alpagos, and mountain crazy monks. Crazy and boring. Crazy, not boring. More boring. No, crazy and boring. More boring than a Mouflon, but they often brew with Numa. You can also head south. East of the crossroads behind this. I've not been there myself, but you'll find a dolmen there. And this is meant to open some secret passages there. I do not sculpt stupid so dragons to get there beyond the bullet. 5 is fair pay. I'll mention with all the neighbors how helpful you are. Sorry for take after our mother. Since you have to know, our laws make me admit that I was and by my own deeds, I'd lost my family. My daughter has a new father now, and I'm not allowed to marry again. Good. He was wise, but I'll never touch my girl. Keeping her safe is the right thing to do, even if it does not make things right. Emergence from the Hag Hills was meant to pass the key to our friend, but she never showed up. Any battle? Thinking stuff. Music stuff. Battle axe, some fabric, a lantern. Everything. No. Um, 4 hours for dusk. Hours to get to Pelton North. I can do some gambling here, I guess. Maybe make some more money. I lost money, okay. That's not great. I'm gonna die of starvation in this game, I swear to God. Your Thunder Sorority, blah, thanks to your light thief. I'm getting outside. I think we should get inside. Your guests stay here. Team, it's no time to worry about outsiders. Maybe we could have caught it. Nice. And now I'm broke. Okay. Then the beasts show up. A bunch of griffers and blocks are near the road. For you, the griffers move. Many beasts in sight, and this time to pay you much more attention. Better screech and better hold our ground. Not much of a plan here, just kill me as we can. If we're lucky, I shall try to Tusk. Doesn't buy you much time. You realize as your plan gets closer to you, there are several beaks and tunnels. It's hard to organize. One of the creatures leaves you and the others follow. Finally, it ends, though not because of lack of opponents. The one creature you butchered is still coming pain, but there's some of them who have enough strength to run away. If it was broken, the pack would go on, at least for some time. We're alive, Roadster, you and I both. Let me draw my ballista and we can move forward. And Steven Singer so for blood, but he tells you to ignore once you get close to the pelt. He was so enthusiastic like you aren't kidding. What a fortress. Just quickly asked your bought some watering well. Thank you, Rosa. I need to ask, can't keep any still. I'm not going to chop off my damn arm. But like I told you, if you want any coins, you have to come back tomorrow when my pouch gets heavier. But I would prefer to give the potion to our pills around. I'm 8 minutes instead. It's useful, but not as much as in the south as here in the woods. Me. I didn't get that seat thing. Well, if stones start to turn into a hut-like shape, very wide enough to let you walk inside. Common religious symbol of sea folk. Let's pray the time of life and time. Chapel, you wonder. Fuck. No doors. So. Let's try lock. Let's see some. Okay. Like, do I have left 6 hours? Gave them for. Wow. We're different to combat. Chris Young, string Axel. I guess true.
Yeah, I wanted that spear.
She. Well, at least it didn't take any damage. Pine tree. Hours. Yeah. Find any side paths nor remains of a camp. The leaves are not completely dry. And sickness. Bugs first. Blood, no been. Don't find any mark or pus. Careful grass, find two such cracks or prints. First traps near the strip wagon, the Ferris stopped where they made a sharp turn. Second trails close to the tree stump. Mustard. Long walks going hard while heels shortening the ground. Both trails avoid the western wilderness road and lead you north. They belong to 24 people, maybe more. This one's just more mud and trees. Links, farms, house, toy, key, with nothing to keep parts together. Waste construct a wagon, you can't ask me how deep the tracks are. You're into deep water, rocky expression is both the sounds of frogs. No carcass inside, no sign to show, so up behind. I found an arrow! Finally stops grass. I'll definitely chop this down. Waste control. Find mark on. Dude, why do I need to fucking figure this out? Oh my god. One linen bag, empty and moist. They're definitely attacked by humans, so probably highwaymen. Um, You don't think there's... They weren't killed, so they definitely... That's where they would jump, probably. Two sets of tracks, there are no hoof prints. First set is near the destroyed wagon. Finally stopped. See where they made a sharp turn. Second trail is close to the tree stump. Yep. Both trails avoid the eastern... Okay, so they weren't lost in the wilderness. Lead north. I think I know what happened here. Half a highwayman. Food supplies. Probably. Actually, no, there's only one bag. One. Let's get this. Highwayman. Passengers. They were taken north. GLAUCIA. After my left go, I was looking across. I better shop down more horses and eggs too much for fighting. Can't say I see many folks seeking blood, but who knows what good reason is kill. So defense Philbilly, coins medicine. If you don't have but a fight, I don't think the roads are good for you. These roads are for loons and deer legs. Money for this. You just arrived. Which tomorrow was. Your roaster who ask for help. They don't thank you to steal from them when they're in bed. Not the same when you're a drifter. You don't ask me to stay to marry kids, to help them harvest. Because Packbergs came in here by boat. He landed next to Gale Rocks. days, and when the weather goes to shit, they boil water for salt and they put fish in it. And I don't know how they don't have many trees around. Then they sell meat to villages and places for crops. I was told to stay away from the white marshes. Don't know. Shell told me why. I joined a group of fish traders who were going to Old Pagos and his monastery, but I hate the place, but everyone does. I stayed there for a bit, but the villagers are cold and they spend days praying and talking on about their duty, and they're gray like an ash worm. Last once at dawn, me and my bird, and wasn't that a mistake? Like by a short bear-like creature tried to run away, but following his bird was a bad idea. Fell over a thicket so much I had time to get to it. I hit it with a bolt wasn't enough. I kicked it, but bites my legs, takes my flesh away. I almost dozed off from pain. Can you believe it? That lazy bird came back and charged at it with its beak. Cyrus to get through the surprising and ran away. The bird was patient, let me lean on it. My ballista scared Griff's away, and we got to Howard's Dell. That's where I found the elders. They agreed to heal me, but only for coin. Told me an exception. After a few questions, they're sure the elders meant the local druids. Hell, like, they didn't want to talk with me for a whole lot, so I'm impudent. Hear that? Spent time with Ties. At least she wasn't so boring. She's the mayor, so to speak. Once you get there, she'll make sure. Blah blah. I've already. Whatever. So why would you leave Howard stand alone? What's smart to move to ruins over yourself? It's my trade. I shouldn't tell, and I won't. You already know how. You need to know. Let me sleep. Nice not to have you seen this huge gate. West made rocks very tall. We've been a guard there named Quentin, maybe? A kind soul, but a bit slow. This road's cemetery. Anyway. Idea what happened to the ruined village in the west. Now there are goblins around the walls. We never went there, but I was told that the wrath of the herd crushed it maybe 10 years ago. Or any survivors are surely gone by now. So there are bandits in the woods after all. This peninsula really hates us. We can't make a dent in the shell. Thanks for telling us, Road Warden. If you survive long for someone, I'm sure. Be sure to mention it. I can head here at least, and I can just sleep on the ground again, I guess. Wake up in the middle of almost every night before second sleep comes. You spend an hour or two taking care of your belongings. Some people spend this time with their friends, but your routine is different if you don't have to take care of essential tasks. Working out would be nice, but I think I want to make sure my horse is nice, fine, you know. My leftovers? Oh, thank God. Not bad here. I bought what I could sell. Hunters want my entire pouch, giving me stealth. We've agreed on a lower pace, and they just won't drop whatever it is. I don't care. Blah blah. I do feel like I've eaten a troll shit. When I landed here, I piled bundles of triggers, and now I'm starting with nothing again. I should have listened. The way land belongs to the moment. And you should have it. You saved my life and what's left of it. Sorry, but who cares? And blah. Heard no ships can land on this coast. Well, if you're patient and take your time, you can go to Gouge Rock from the sea. You're no hope for a ship or any trade, but you got some help and you can do it. Don't tell anyone I told you this. It's not things we should talk about. armor is nowhere in sight. That's concerning. Fucking okay. I think I am going to call it here. Yeah. It's a fun game, all things considered. I've never been a huge fan of like text-based RPGs 'cause I feel like they're a bit slow for me. And I don't mind this one too much, but I don't know if I'm gonna be playing it much more. I'll be playing it more on stream or anything like that. But yeah, I'm gonna call it stream here. Hope y'all have a good day, and I will see ya.